The alien ships arrived without warning, their sleek obsidian hulls blotting out the morning sun over Pine Ridge. From a distance, the town looked peaceful. Quiet streets, lined with red brick houses, smoke curling from chimneys, and children playing in the dusty park. But the serenity was about to shatter. The aliens had scanned Earth from orbit for months, identifying targets with no apparent resistance. Pine Ridge, they concluded, would fall without a fight. They were wrong. From the forested hills surrounding the town, the first flashes of blue energy cut the air as the invaders fired their erasure beams. A home vanished in an instant, leaving behind only a faint shimmer, like the memory of something that had never existed. The aliens expected screams, chaos, and surrender. Instead, they heard the crackle of walkie-talkies, the sound of footsteps on the rooftops, and the low hum of engines starting somewhere in the mountains. Pine Ridge had secrets. Most of its residents had come seeking peace, retired special forces, ex-Marines, and hardened veterans from wars across the globe. They had chosen this remote town precisely because it was off the grid, a place where bullets were a memory and the world's politics could not reach them. But peace was a fragile illusion, and now their instincts, honed over decades, demanded action. Major Elias Kane, a retired Army strategist who had once led operations in 3 continents, was the first to see the pattern in the alien attack. "They're trying to erase us, but their beams are limited," he said, scanning the horizon from the ridge above the town. "They don't know our terrain. That's their first mistake." Within minutes, the townspeople had mobilized. Hidden weapons caches, long forgotten but meticulously maintained, were opened. Precision rifles, explosive charges, and EMP devices were distributed with quiet efficiency. The air was thick with anticipation, a deadly calm that only warriors who have seen war could understand. The aliens descended closer, confident that their superior technology would crush any resistance. Their ships hovered, scanning the streets, sending pulses that probed the town for human life. They did not anticipate traps laid decades ago by those who knew what it meant to fight for survival. In the town square, a group of retired commandos detonated an EMP device, sending arcs of electricity dancing across the nearest alien vessel. Its systems faltered, and its erasure beam sputtered mid-air, harmlessly vaporizing the asphalt below. From rooftops, sharpshooters picked off the alien scouts, each shot precise, calculated, and devastating. The aliens, accustomed to instant victory against civilizations that surrendered at the first sign of terror, faltered. Their calculations had not accounted for human cunning, for decades of combat experience, or for a town full of people who had survived nightmares worse than any the aliens could conceive. In the surrounding forest, former snipers moved like shadows, striking alien drones with methods the invaders could not anticipate. Mines buried beneath the dirt erupted in controlled bursts, and homemade explosives took down hovering vessels with deafening precision. Pine Ridge was alive, not just with resistance, but with strategy, coordination, and sheer determination. Inside the town's old community center, Major Kane coordinated the defense. A map covered the walls, dotted with lights showing alien positions and vulnerable points. "They think they can erase us," he said, his voice calm but deadly. "But we don't just survive, we fight, and we fight smarter." The aliens tried to regroup, unleashing larger beams, their erasure technology slicing through entire streets. But the townspeople were ready. They had anticipated escalation. Barricades disguised as rubble, decoy buildings rigged with explosives, and tunnels beneath the town made the invaders' attacks less effective with every passing moment. For the first time in their history, the aliens encountered resistance that adapted faster than they could calculate. Every ship that approached faced traps, sniper fire, and sudden EMP bursts that left them vulnerable to demolition charges. They were forced to retreat and rethink their strategy. something they were unaccustomed to after centuries of conquering worlds with ease. Hours passed like days as the battle raged. Pine Ridge became a maze of ambushes and counterattacks. Children and families were evacuated to underground shelters, far from the fighting, while the veterans executed a symphony of destruction above them. Tanks hidden beneath foliage, rocket launchers disguised as debris, and improvised turrets rained havoc on the alien forces. By nightfall, the invaders were in disarray. Ships that had hovered arrogantly over the town were reduced to smoldering wrecks. Squadrons of aliens retreated to orbit, reassessing their failure. Pine Ridge remained standing, its people exhausted but unbroken. Major Kane walked through the town square, surveying the damage. Broken streets, scorched rooftops, and smoldering vehicles told the story of the day's fight. Yet the town itself had not fallen. The aliens had underestimated not just the humans' skill, but their spirit. "We've won this round," he said quietly to a fellow veteran. "But we stay vigilant. They'll come back, and next time they'll think twice." From the sky, the remaining alien ships disappeared into the stars, leaving behind a town that had proven something monumental. Humanity could not be erased by mere technology, nor could fear alone dictate the outcome of a fight. Pine Ridge became a legend overnight, the story of a town that refused to vanish, told in whispers across continents and through digital channels. And somewhere, far beyond Earth, the alien commanders logged their defeat, unable to reconcile how a single, ordinary town could have turned their sophisticated war machine into wreckage. Pine Ridge had become a symbol of resistance, a testament to the fiercest warriors Earth had ever produced, warriors who knew that sometimes, even in retirement, one must rise to defend home, honor, and humanity itself. The town returned to a fragile peace, the veterans returning to their homes, cleaning their weapons, tending to their gardens, and watching the skies. They knew it was temporary. But for now, Pine Ridge stood. The invaders had learned a lesson the hard way: never underestimate Earth's fiercest warriors, and as news of the battle spread, the story ended not with despair, but with pride, reminding the galaxy that humanity, even in its quietest corners, could fight back with unparalleled ferocity. The aliens believed Pine Ridge would be an easy target. From orbit, it looked like any other sleepy rural town. A handful of houses scattered across green fields, a winding main street, and a single church whose steeple kissed the sky. They calculated that their erasure beams would obliterate the population within minutes, leaving the rest of Earth in fear. Their plan was simple, and their confidence absolute. But what they didn't know was that this town was far from ordinary. Beneath its unassuming streets and quiet homes lay layers of underground bunkers, secret armories, and training facilities, hidden relics of a government project that had brought together the greatest warriors the world had ever seen. Pine Ridge was a living fortress, a hidden archive of humanity's deadliest defenders. When the first alien ship pierced the morning sky, the town seemed caught off guard. Beams of energy sliced through barns and farmhouses, vaporizing everything in their path. But inside the deepest bunker, General Amara Klein, a retired strategist of unmatched reputation, remained calm. "They've made their first move," she said, her fingers tracing the map of tunnels and access points etched on a steel table. "And now, the town wakes." The alarm systems, disguised for decades as wind chimes, water towers, and barn equipment, sprang to life. The bunker's reinforced doors hissed open, and the residents emerged, not just civilians, but veterans, commandos, and operatives from nations across the globe. They had retired here seeking anonymity, yet each had sworn a silent oath. If Earth was threatened, they would rise again. Outside, the aliens hovered with deadly arrogance. Their erasure technology was unmatched, capable of disintegrating entire city blocks in seconds. They expected humans to panic, to scatter like frightened rodents. But the first counterstrike stunned them. From concealed rooftops, retired snipers, some in their 60s, others in their 70s, took positions. With decades of experience, they calculated angles, wind speed, and energy field distortions, and their first volleys tore through alien drones with surgical precision. Mines hidden beneath the town's roads detonated, sending fire and debris into the hulls of hovering ships. EMP charges disguised as trash cans sent pulses across the main square, temporarily shutting down the aliens' targeting systems. General Klein's voice crackled through hidden radios. "Divide and isolate. Use the terrain. Force them into our traps." Her order was simple, yet terrifyingly effective. Pine Ridge's residents moved with the coordination of a military unit, despite being years removed from active duty. The aliens, growing frustrated, increased their assault. Erasure beams sliced through the town, turning barns, vehicles, and even streets into nothingness. But each attack only drove the humans deeper into their strategies. Houses rigged with explosives collapsed on the ships, creating debris fields that acted as impromptu fortifications. Alleyways led invaders into crossfires where veterans waited patiently, rifles and rocket launchers ready. In the center of town, underground tunnels opened to reveal hidden artillery, modern, retrofitted, and deadly. Mortars and anti-ship weapons, long forgotten by the world above, unleashed destruction on the alien vessels. A sleek craft that had hovered confidently over the main street moments before now spiraled out of control, crashing into the hills and igniting a forest fire. The aliens had underestimated the town's defenses. What they saw from orbit as a quiet rural settlement was actually a complex network designed to protect humanity's most valuable assets, its warriors. Each citizen in Pine Ridge was part of an intricate system, from intelligence gathering to trap setting. Even the local bakery served as a reconnaissance hub, with ovens concealing long-range communications and flour sacks hiding sniper scopes. Hours stretched into a relentless siege. The alien ships adapted, but so did the town. Every move the invaders made was anticipated and countered. Mines, turrets, and explosives created layers of defense the aliens could not navigate. The town had become a fortress of ingenuity, history, and experience, a place where retired warriors transformed back into lethal soldiers at the mere hint of invasion. From the hills, General Klein watched the alien retreat and regroup. She knew the enemy would try to analyze their losses, to strike again with even greater force. But she also knew the town's strength, unity, experience, and an unbreakable will. "They've underestimated us," she murmured, "and they'll pay for it." By evening, the town had turned the tide. Alien ships that had approached with impunity were now shattered and smoking on the fields and rooftops. Drones that had scouted the streets lay in twisted heaps of metal. Pine Ridge, seemingly ordinary, had proven invincible. Its warriors, disciplined and precise, had outmaneuvered an enemy with technology centuries ahead of humanity's. Residents emerged from their hiding places not to celebrate, but to prepare for the inevitable next wave. They tended to their wounded, repaired equipment and reinforced the town's defenses. In the heart of the underground bunkers, younger residents trained under the guidance of the veterans, learning tactics and strategies designed to protect not only their town but Earth itself. The aliens, finally retreating to orbit, broadcast their defeat back to their command fleet. They had expected a swift conquest, but instead they had encountered a fortress of legends. Pine Ridge had proven that even a small town could embody the fiercest spirit of humanity. Every street, every house, every tunnel had been a testament to strategy, courage, and preparation. By nightfall, the town was silent again, the smoke from destroyed ships drifting across the fields. Yet beneath that quiet lay vigilance. Pine Ridge would not simply survive, it would endure, hidden from the world, but always ready. Its residents returned to their routines, tending gardens, repairing homes, and watching the skies. They had reminded the galaxy that Earth's greatest weapons were not just technology or armies, but its warriors, disciplined, cunning, and unyielding. And somewhere in the cosmos, the alien commanders logged their humiliating defeat, unable to understand how a seemingly insignificant town had decimated their advanced fleet. Pine Ridge had become a legend, proof that the deadliest human weapon was the mind, spirit, and experience of those who had trained for battles the galaxy had never seen. As the stars blinked in the night sky above, the town rested, not in fear, but in pride. Pine Ridge had survived, its secret intact, its warriors ready, and its legacy sealed. Earth's hidden fortress, impervious, prepared, and resolute against any who dared challenge it. The aliens had chosen what they thought was an easy target, the small farming town of Cedar Hollow. From orbit, it appeared insignificant, a scattering of homes among golden fields, smoke curling lazily from chimneys, and winding dirt roads, lined with trees. Their logic was cold and clinical. Erase the population, spread terror across the planet, and assert dominance. They expected panic. They expected surrender. What they did not expect was fury. From the moment the alien ships pierced the morning sky, Cedar Hollow became a stage for chaos, but not the chaos the invaders had envisioned. Beams of erasure fire tore through barns, silos, and streets, disintegrating matter with terrifying precision. The town's residents, however, did not flee. They had been waiting, silently, for the moment when the world would demand their defense. Cedar Hollow was home to a rare convergence of bloodlines, descendants of warriors from every corner of the earth. Samurai, knights, tribal hunters, marines, and soldiers who had honed their bodies and minds in modern battle, all lived quietly here, their legacies preserved in the routines of daily life. They farmed, built homes, and raised families, but beneath the surface, they were warriors, prepared for a fight that the galaxy could not have imagined. The first blast struck near the town square, vaporizing a farmhouse. Children screamed, and livestock scattered, but the warriors of Cedar Hollow moved with calm precision. They had anticipated this moment for generations. Traps hidden beneath fields, underground bunkers, and fortified homes were activated. Rocket launchers, precision, rifles, and improvised explosives emerged from their concealment. The battlefield, once innocent farmland, became a labyrinth of death for the invaders. At the town's edge, former Special Forces operative Leora Dane led the first counterattack, using knowledge of terrain passed down from her ancestors and her own decades of experience. She coordinated squads that struck with surgical accuracy. Mines hidden beneath the dirt erupted beneath hovering alien scouts. Snipers on rooftops eliminated drones with flawless shots, targeting engines and energy cores with deadly precision. Every move of the aliens was predicted, countered, and punished. The aliens had expected fear. They had expected chaos. Instead, they encountered strategy, discipline, and rage, the pure, unfiltered fury of a town that refused to vanish. From every home, barn, and tree line, the humans struck. Even the town's children, trained since birth in survival and alertness, guided smaller explosives and traps, while elders provided direction, their eyes still sharp with the memory of battles long past. The sky darkened with alien vessels, but for each ship that descended, there was a counter. EMP pulses disrupted targeting systems, while hidden artillery fired volleys that shredded hulls. Tanks, long buried in underground bunkers and disguised as simple sheds, emerged to destroy the larger crafts. Smoke, fire, and debris filled the air, turning the once peaceful town into a fortress alive with deadly precision. Mayor Elias Cortez, a retired general now living as a farmer, moved through the town coordinating defenses. "They came thinking we were weak," he shouted into a communicator, his voice calm yet commanding. "Show them what Earth's fury looks like." As the day wore on, the aliens escalated, unleashing larger erasure beams aimed to obliterate the entire town. But Cedar Hollow was prepared. Homes rigged with explosives collapsed on incoming ships, decoy streets led alien troops into ambushes, and every natural obstacle became a weapon. A single valley became a killing ground as gravity traps and remote charges tore through advancing squads. The aliens began to falter. Their technology, advanced beyond anything Earth had seen, could not compensate for centuries of human combat knowledge distilled into a single, united town. Every ship that descended faced snipers, mines, and hidden artillery. Every drone was destroyed before it could relay intelligence. Cedar Hollow had become a fortress of rage, a symbol of humanity's resilience and ingenuity. By nightfall, the aliens had suffered catastrophic losses. Their ships, once numerous and intimidating, now lay in burning wreckage across the fields. Drones hovered briefly before spiraling into the forest. The invaders retreated, their arrogance shattered, their calculations useless against humans, who fought with both tradition and innovation. Cedar Hollow's warriors, though weary and bloodied, did not celebrate. They moved quickly, tending to the wounded, repairing barricades, and reinforcing defenses. They knew this was only the first wave. Earth's fury had been awakened, and they would remain vigilant, for there would always be others who sought to test it. From orbit, the alien commanders broadcast their defeat back to their fleets, unable to comprehend how a small farming town had decimated advanced war machines. Cedar Hollow had proven that humanity's greatest weapon was not technology or numbers, but the spirit, training, and unity of its warriors. Each street, each building, and every hidden trap was a testament to the depth of Earth's legacy. The survivors of Cedar Hollow emerged from hiding at dawn, surveying the wreckage. Smoke rose from scattered alien debris, glinting in the morning sun. Farmers returned to their fields, children ran through the streets, and the warriors quietly cleaned their weapons, tending to their wounds. The town had endured, not because it was fortified by walls alone, but because it was defended by bloodlines, experience, and an unyielding will to protect home. Word of the town spread quickly, carried by digital networks and whispered stories. Cedar Hollow became a legend, the symbol of Earth's refusal to bow. Across the planet, other towns and cities took inspiration, preparing, training, and remembering that humanity's strength lies not only in armies, but in the indomitable spirit of its people. And far beyond Earth, in the cold expanse of space, the aliens recalculated. They had underestimated humanity, assuming weakness where there was strength, fear where there was courage. Cedar Hollow had proven that even a single town, united and determined, could stand against the might of the stars. The town returned to quiet life, the fields slowly returning to peace, the homes repaired, and the streets cleared of wreckage. But beneath the calm lay vigilance. Cedar Hollow would remain a sentinel, a reminder that the fury of Earth was not a rumor or a myth. It was alive, fierce, and unstoppable. And somewhere, in the alien command fleet, the realization spread like wildfire. Earth was not a planet to conquer. It was a planet to fear. The day Earth's fury awoke, Cedar Hollow had survived, its warriors victorious, its legacy eternal, and its message clear. Those who dare to threaten humanity would find themselves facing warriors unlike any the galaxy had ever known.